Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to give a big shout out to all my friends and family that are watching this episode. Keep making these videos for you, y'all. So today I'm going to be making a tomato cage planter for the inside of my house. I've been wanting like a really big green plant next to my TV in my living room, but I just didn't know like what bowl do I put it in? What green plant do I even put in the corner of my living room? I have no idea. I saw this tutorial on Instagram from Hot House Love. I'll go ahead and tag her Instagram down in the description below. I really liked how it turned out, so I'm gonna put my little spin on things. What you'll need is a terracotta pot, a tomato cage, some spray paint, and some twine, and a plant to put into the pot. We're gonna spray paint, we're gonna do some twine, art, and then we're gonna pot a plant. This should be fun, it should be exciting, it should be new, and yeah, let's just get into the video. Okay, so in case you didn't know, this is a tomato cage. I stole one from Lucas's garden because he had one too many. Usually when you put the tomato cage into the garden, you put it down with these like spiky things going into the ground, but we're actually going to be turning this over and cutting them off. So I forgot to mention you're gonna need some wire cutters. So I got it off by bending it back and forth because that was pointless using wire cutters, and I just want to point out that Hot House Love also bent it back and forth because she couldn't do it with the wire cutters, so I should have just not been stubborn and listened from the beginning, but it's fine. We're just going to bend the rest of them back. Now that I got my planter, I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it white. I could leave it this silver color, but I think I'm going to like how the white goes better with the twine and stuff that I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this real quick. Okay, so here's the tip. Make sure that you have the planter standing the way that you're gonna put the pot in so that you don't have to like go underneath and spray paint from underneath, because I did not think about that until I started spray painting. You know what, for the life of me, I can't remember if that's the top or that's the top. So I guess we're gonna find out in the next frame when I start doing the twine, because I'll have checked the tutorial. Be right back. You're supposed to have the smaller hoop at the top and the larger one at the bottom, so I totally spray painted it wrong. The top ring isn't as white, but it's okay because the lip of the pot is gonna come over, so it's kind of gonna hide it, so I'm not too worried about it. What I'm gonna do is take this twine, and y'all, I only bought one, so I'm gonna have to unravel a butt ton of this and cut it and then do it again so I can have two strings for the design I want to do. We're gonna start here and we're just going to go up and down over the tomato cage. I'm going to twirl the twine as I go through to get kind of like a knotted look. I honestly have no idea how this is gonna turn out. The way that Hot House Love did it, she did 3 different strands of yarn, 3 different colors. She started here and then she just worked her way up and down and up and down, and then she separated them when they were finished, which looked awesome. I kind of wanted to use this twine and give it more of like a farmhouse feel, because if you've been at my house, you know that's the look I'm going for. I'm gonna go ahead and unravel some of this, make 2 strings, and then I'm gonna get started wrapping it around the planter. Okay, so I got my 2 strings and I tied a knot to connect them. So I'm just going to tie a knot to connect it up here, and later I'm going to cut it and glue it. Or maybe I'll just leave it because this seems pretty... Well, we'll see at the end of the video what I decide to do, because we're just going with the flow here. And you know, I don't know if I'm getting crazy with this, with twirling, because if any of you guys know about like braiding and stuff, you gotta worry about the stuff at the end and not getting, you know, into knots and stuff. So we'll see if I get frustrated and quit, or if this is a success. Stay tuned. We're about to find out. Okay, so here's a tip. The girl whose tutorial I was watching, she used 3 different colors of yarn, and like, I get it. I get it now, why you did that. Knots are not my friend. That got tangled up really quick. It's been way too long. I'm only a third of the way through. I still have these 2 sections to do, so that was a lot of work, so I think that deserves a Coke. This is in no way sponsored by Coca-Cola. I'm just a big fan. So now that I have my strands unraveled, we're gonna try this again for the second section. And hopefully I don't lose my mind. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so I went ahead and tied it off because I ran out of string. One thing I'm noticing is if you scoot these over too much, you might rip the paint off, so just be gentle when doing that. And, you know, if you do twine, just careful because all these little hairs just get all knotted up with each other, so just be mindful of that. So we're gonna keep going. I'm coming at you with another tip. You know that little saying, work smarter, not harder? Well, instead of cutting 3 more strands from the same color twine, I went ahead and just took my leftover string and went up and down with that, and I'm just gonna go over it with the 2nd and the 3rd string instead of having another massive headache like last time. If you're gonna use the same color string, I advise that because we're going for kind of a twisted effect anyways, so it's all gonna blend together in the end. And one thing too, the number of knots that you have up here, you can hide it behind, like on the inside of the tomato cage. And also, if I remember correctly, the lip of the pot is gonna hang over a little bit, so it's gonna be covered anyways, so don't worry about that. Just make sure if you tie off any knots on the bottom that it is on the inside of the cage. Okay, so we are finally finished. Here's the finished weave. There's still some spaces, you know, that I could go back and like go over, but I only have this much string left, which is barely any. To be honest, I've been at this for almost 2 hours, so I'm done. So here's what I found really helpful. I was just doing 1 string around, and then I was knotting them at the top, and it didn't really matter how long they were. I just made sure to knot them at the top every single time I was done. So I ended up with way more knots than I thought I was going to, but you know what? It was a learning curve. Am I gonna do this again? Probably not in the near future unless you paid me $100, because you know what? You might not be paying for the materials of an artist's masterpiece. You're paying for the labor of love that they put into that masterpiece. I'm gonna go ahead and cut everything off, put some hot glue. I have my hot glue gun just around the knots and around the top, maybe on the inside so that it doesn't come apart, because that would be a tragedy. Here's my potted plant that I'm going to be putting into this plant stand. I bought a terracotta pot from Home Depot and I painted it myself. Isn't it so nice? I just used 3 colors and I sat there and I watched a TV show and painted. That's that. Don't ask me what kind of plant that is. It said indoor plant, so I bought it. I already put it in the plant stand to see how it would come out, and one of the things that I noticed that I didn't like was that I put too much twine, so it covers up the entire pot and you can't really see the colors that I painted. So I scooted them into little groups, batches, so that the pot peeks out a little bit, because you know I didn't go through all that work for nothing either. So let's go ahead and put the pot in the pot stand and see how it looks. It's beautiful, if I must say so myself. Here's what it looks like in the living room. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!